Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Evil. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 content. Today I have a build for you guys where I'm spamming infinite solar grenades. The reason why I like this build is because it's kind of different. It switches things up from just the main Starfire protocol, Phoenix protocol build, and it's giving me kind of a nice good vibe to it. I like it, and I'm spamming a lot of grenades. It's kind of fun, and it switched things up. Let's dive straight into it so I can show you guys how I'm spamming infinite solar grenades. Okay, so for the exotic of choice, we will be running Sunbracers, and with Sunbracers, as soon as you get a melee kill, you're able to spam infinite grenades. I've spammed up, I believe, up until, I'll say, give or take 6 grenades in one sitting of just the 5 seconds it gives you the buff. That's just if you're hitting that button really fast to spam all those grenades. The one thing to keep in mind is when you do spam these grenades, they can't overlap. So let's say if you stack 2 grenades on top of each other, you're not gonna get double damage. It's just one grenade is gonna override the other. It's gonna count as one grenade damage, if you get what I mean. So keep that in mind when you are spamming grenades. For the subclass, I'm using Daybreak. This build is more for, let's say, solo play and having a little bit of fun. It's not really your serious type build. Only reason because is you're only spamming solar grenades, and with Touch of Flame, those solar grenades will have enhanced functionality, which I do like. They kind of, I won't say track, but they do emit like lobs of blob in a perimeter. So it's sort of like a little bit of tracking, but not like too much tracking. And those little blobs do kill a lot of enemies and do a lot of damage if you really think about it. But we're not rocking Well of Radiance, we're rocking Daybreak only because I like that super when I'm mostly doing solo play. We're doing Phoenix Dive again. This is for mostly solo play. You can switch it up with Empowering Rift, Healing Rift, or even go with a Well of Radiance if you're really going into a team setting with this build. If you like that, it's up to you guys. We will be using Burst Glide. Burst Glide is the glide move I've been raised on, and it's the glide move I've been using. I cannot jump on my Warlock with any other glide, so Burst Glide is what we stick with. Incinerator Snap gives me consistent kills. That's why I prefer it over Celestial Fire. Celestial Fire is good, but I'm getting more consistent kills with the Thanos Snap. For the grenade of choice, you will need to be rocking a solar grenade. No other grenade works with this because of the exotic we are rocking, so you need to rock solar grenades. For the aspects, as I mentioned before, we're using Touch of Flame, so our solar grenades now emit blobs of lava, and those lavas do big damage. So that's why we're using it. We're going to combine that with Heat Rises. So after we consume, so to set this up right, you're going to want to consume your grenade first, so you gain Heat Rises. Once you gain Heat Rises, you're going to float in the air, and every single time you get a kill while floating in the air, it's going to grant you melee energy. So that's really why we want to use Heat Rises and consume our first grenade. The reason for that is because your Incinerator Snap is what kicks off the build. You can't get the unlimited solar grenade energy unless you kill an enemy with your Incinerator Snap. That's how the build works. For the fragments, we are going to be using Ember of Searing, so that every time we defeat a scorched target, and we're going to be scorching all the enemies we do hit with our grenade, is going to grant us melee energy, so we can keep that Thanos Snap and everything synergizing together. For the second fragment, I do have Ember of Char. I switched this up between Ember of Torches just because if you're going for more solo play, I don't need to become Radiant. I'm fine with not being Radiant, so I just switched up with Ember of Char. And I needed the 10 discipline. So for the second fragment, it's up to you, but I use Ember of Char, and sometimes you can switch it with Ember of Torches. For the third fragment, we're going to use Ember of Blistering, so that anytime we defeat a target with our solar ignitions, we're going to get more grenade energy. So that's going to just add on top of the already infinite grenade spam we're going to be able to get with the Sunbracers. For the last fragment, we will be using Ember of Ashes, so that we're applying more stacks to our target, so that it's going to synergize with this. So when we defeat a scorched target, we're going to gain melee energy, so you want them to scorch, if you guys get what I mean. All of these fragments synergize well together. These are the fragments I run. The only thing I would switch out, as I said before, is just the second fragment with Ember of Torches, just if you wanted to get that 50% extra damage boost. But that's it. Now let's dive straight into the armor setup and the armor mods we are rocking. So the first and two most important mods that I'm rocking will be Well of Life. A lot of you guys mentioned this in my comments. I didn't know about it until, let's just say, a week ago. You do gain increased regeneration when you pick up a solar elemental well, and since we are spamming our grenades, we're going to be making a lot of solar elemental wells. This is a pretty unique mod. I like it. It's just you're gaining restoration, you're gaining healing while you're just running around and doing nothing, so you're healing basically for free. I love that. I picked it up. Well of Life is one of the mods I run. The other key important mod would be Bountiful Wells, so that when we are spamming our grenades, we're going to be getting a lot of more elemental wells. What that means is our other 3 mods are just going to be elemental ordnance. So we're going to be, every time we get a kill with our grenade, it's going to spawn an elemental well. And since we're rocking Bountiful Wells, it's going to give us the max stack of elemental wells that you can from one single ability, which will be 4. So that's why we're rocking Bountiful Wells with 3 elemental ordnance. You can swap this up for whatever you like. Let's just say Striking Light is a mod I love, just because you gain an increase in damage resistance while you're sprinting. I swap that out a lot of times if I'm doing higher end activities, but like I said, this build is mostly for fun and just something to switch up the pace in Destiny with the other builds I've been rocking. So we're using this build in Gambit, Master Catch Crash, just odd things just to get the job done. But that is the build. We're going to be using Bountiful Wells combined with 3 elemental ordnance with Well of Life, just because since we're running Celestial Dive, we don't have a Rift or Phoenix Dive. Since we don't have a Rift, we need a way to get our healing back, and where we're going to get all that healing is going to be from Well of Life. And since we are creating solar elemental wells like every single second, everything is going to just perfectly pair together, and you're going to be able to spam solar grenades. I really like this build, like I said, I really like this build just for activities that don't require, that you need to grind out. So I've used this build in Haunted Lost Sectors. I'm using this build in my Gambit farm. I'm using it in my Master Catch Crash farm, just to have a little bit of fun and to spice things up in the gameplay instead of using the regular Starfire protocol, Phoenix protocol, and even the Void build I rock 80% of the time. I just wanted to switch things up, and that's why I'm rocking this build. I love it. I hope you guys like it too. The grenades are kind of strong. I didn't expect them to be so strong in the Master Catch Crash, but they were putting in work. That's it for the build. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'm out.